Well, Alexander, how are you right now?
Well, I'm kind of healthy again, not yet, but healthy enough to speak and to walk around and so on.
Hmm.
I had a so this corona disease actually hit me pretty hard. I got it now. It's about 3 weeks ago. As tomorrow, it's 3 weeks ago when I suddenly had some was shook. I was shaking because of freezing and because of cold. I don't know. It suddenly started, and then suddenly I got a very high fever and a dry cough. And we were in Styria, so we went back to Vienna. And in Vienna, I went back. I went to bed, and then stayed there. My wife took care of me for a week. It was really terrible. I had fever every day, and
Hmm.
all my legs and arms and so on were really hurting, and my lungs were getting weaker, and I really as I kind of experienced that. It was a very strange time. I do not really remember the time. I just know the time, but I do not really remember it. It was just one big bunch. Then on Sunday, also 2 weeks ago, I had a wonderful priest coming to us forbidden and giving us the communion, which was really wonderful because we could not attend mass out of the quarantine regulations we have here because I was corona positive. I had to stay in quarantine,
Hmm.
and then after this Holy Communion was it was really amazing. I can tell you a little bit. I did not really remember everything too well, but the priest, who I know very well and who is a wonderful, of course, traditional priest, came into the room and set up a little altar and prepared everything and said the prayers together with my wife and a little bit with me. As soon as I remember, I did not manage to give every answer. And then he handed out the communion, and it was such a beautiful, perfect, perfect visit of the Lord. It was really wonderful. And afterwards, the night afterwards, unfortunately, I got even weaker. I know it's not because of the communion, because the communion was actually the highlight of the Sunday.
Hmm.
It's just because my lungs were getting weaker. And then I had to go to the hospital. And so they picked me up with the ambulance, and I went into the hospital. And there they measured my O2, how much O2 I have in my blood. And it was not enough at all.
Hmm. Yep.
So after this, I was a week in the hospital, and then unfortunately, these hospitals did not allow a priest to come to us on Sunday, which was terrible because I had two priests, two traditional ones who would have been ready to come,
Right.
but they did not allow it. So the only possibility I had was attending a mass via live stream on my phone, which I actually do not like, but
Right.
we take what we get. And 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 after this mass, it was very interesting. It went up with me again, so I was getting more healthy and healthy every hour. And then on Monday they released me and then brought me back home to my wife. And since then I'm in quarantine with her, even though I am now corona negative. They tested me again, and now I'm negative. So I have still the rest of my lung. I don't know how you call it, but it's called pneumonia. Pneumonia, how do you spell it?
Pneumonia?
Pneumonia,
Pneumonia.
yes. So when your lungs are
Yes.
being wrecked. Yeah, so I have this still a little bit, and this is actually what I have to cure out now.
Yes.
But I'm very happy. I can talk to people. I can walk around. I'm not bound to my bed anymore. That's a very, very great improvement. And I want to thank all the 10 thousands and 100 thousands, I thought, of people who prayed for me and who all the priests who offered mass for me and all the people who prayed the rosary for me.
Okay. And then when you were you surprised when you got the positive reading that you had the coronavirus?
No,
You weren't?
actually, I wasn't happy because I thought it sounds a little bit strange, but I was very sick, and for me it did not matter why I'm very sick. But I knew that if I get the coronavirus, at least afterwards, it seems that I'm immune. And
Right.
that's what they told me. And every doctor in the hospital, every doctor I asked so far, and I asked many doctors, I have the great pleasure that my father is a doctor, a very good one,
Hmm.
and my stepfather too, and an uncle of my stepfather too. So we have also many doctors in the families, and I asked them, and I asked the experts at the hospital, and they all told me that if the virus does not come again with a mutation, so that it is a different
Right.
virus, then I should be immune for the next few years,
Good.
which is actually a very good news, and which gives me the possibility, as soon as I'm fully recovered, to help other people who are sick, because I can go to them, I
Yes.
can visit them, I can bring them stuff, and I cannot get this disease anymore.
Yeah.
The biggest punishment we have right now is that we do not have the Holy Mass, and that there will be no public Easter Triduum. This is terrible. This is so terrible. I cannot imagine. I could not imagine. So, of course, we try to organize something here in Austria, but unfortunately, I cannot talk about it.
Hmm.
But it is really terrible. It's really terrible. And this is something we have to pray for. This is the biggest suffering. The biggest suffering is that the churches are closed.
Yeah.
And I tell you something, every priest in northern Italy who died now because of the coronavirus, because he went to the sick and to the deceased,
Hmm.
those are priests who really fulfilled their duties.
Yes.
And those are the heroes of our times. And I really have to say, we have to pray for them every day, because this is what a priest should do right now.
Yes.
Saint Charles Borromeus, Saint Karl Borromeus is a very big saint also in Austria. One of the most beautiful churches in Vienna is dedicated to him. So we have a huge Saint Charles church from Saint Charles Borromeus. He was during the past times known for handing out the communion to the sick himself as a bishop,
Hmm.
cardinal and bishop, and he handed out the communion to the sick himself when his priests were too weak to do so. So these are the people we should follow. These are the examples we should have, and I think it's very important to understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to Easter, it seems that this is in Rome the first Pascha, the first Easter since the legalization of Christianity from the days of Constantine,
Yes.
that we will not have a public celebration of the resurrection of Jesus in Rome. This is apocalyptic. Not just the world, but if the Catholics are contracepting, aborting,
Yes.
fornicating, getting drunk, getting high, not attending Mass, not believing the doctrines of the faith, God says, all right, well, if you don't want me, you don't want the benefits that I give you through the new covenant and in the Catholic Church, well, let's just take them away for a little bit.
Yes.
And I think some people don't understand is when you read the Old Testament, for example, like the book of Daniel, Daniel's a righteous, good man, and yet he has to suffer in exile. And he realized that he is suffering for the sake of the sins of other people, and he accepts that. And that needs to be the attitude of Catholics now who say, I may not have been the one who contracepted or skipped Mass 50 Sundays a year, but now we are all suffering, and I accept that punishment.
That's it.
And I offer it for myself and for the future, and I offer it for the other people who have committed these sins and got us into this situation. And let's be honest, all of us have committed sin. I'm assuming most of us have committed even mortal sins. So it's not like we can, just presume that we're part of this righteous elect. Each of us has a load of temporal punishment, and as sinners, we're in this together. So we have to accept this with a bended neck and with humility, and to, as we say, offer it up.